This is the first video of a new series. I've started a new project and I want to share all the different steps to it with you. So this is going to be an overview of what I'm going to be doing and a little history, and so you can kind of get excited as I am. So first off, I'm always interested in clothing and where it comes from, how it was made. And I'm also an archaeologist by training, so older things really fascinate me. So I had this idea. I was at what's called Fiber Fusion, which is a big gathering of wool producers and sellers, and they had raw fleece for sale. And this is one of them. This is a raw alpaca fleece. They just sheared it off the animal and put it in this bag. And then they sold it to me. So it's got bits of stuff in it, and it's all matted, and it's very dirty and dusty. But this is what it is. Basically, it's just straight off of the animal. So what I'm going to be doing is I am going to transform this, hopefully, into a sweater. But I'm going to be using kind of the older methods to do it. Historically, what would have been done before the Industrial Revolution, and mostly by hand. So I don't have a fancy wheel spinner. I've got a drop spindle, and I don't have a drum carder. I've got hand card. So it's going to be a little bit more interesting. I want to understand what it was like, what it took to get from this raw fleece to a sweater, you know, maybe 500 years ago. How many hours would that have taken? Because, you know, nowadays we go down to the mall, we buy a sweater, it takes maybe an hour, and then great, you're gone. But that's not the way it used to be for most of human history. It was a really in-depth process. Clothes were very special. You maybe only had one outfit, two at the most, for most, you know, peasants and, you know, people that didn't have a lot of money, because it was very expensive. It was very labor intensive, time intensive, to make clothing, to make garments. So I want to get back to that idea of, you know, our clothes being very precious to us. And I think that investing all of the time in making my sweater literally from scratch will kind of illustrate that point, that we should really take care of the clothes that we have, be grateful for them, and kind of get away from this fast fashion. And, you know, every season needs to be different. Well, I am going to probably keep this sweater forever, even if it's ugly, because I made it from scratch. So the process is going to be, is I've got this fleece. This is alpaca. Undyed, unwashed, everything. So I start with carding. So basically I take these like nasty looking medieval paddles. They've got teeth on them, and I load up the wool on here, and then you kind of card them together. Each step of the process I'll do a new video, and I'll also be giving you history about, you know, when these would have been used and by whom, that kind of stuff, so you'll get a better idea of that. So then once you've carded it, in theory you've made it into what's called rolags or roving. This is machine done roving, that's why it's so pretty, and it's also a really nice white wool. I did not do this, but this is like ideally what you get. And then you take this and you put it onto your drop spindle. So this is a very easy manual way to make yarn. There's other ways. You know, you think of the Cinderella spinning wheel. That's like a lot faster, but those are really expensive. This is about 20 bucks. So you can make your own yarn this way. And I'll show you how to do that when the time comes. Then I'll be naturally dyeing it. I haven't decided what color yet, but something, I'm thinking maybe in the red or orangish family. We'll see. And then once I have my yarn, I get to knit it. Yay! So I also want you to know that I am very much a beginner at this. I have never done this before. Up until a few months ago, I had never done the drop spindle. It never made my own yarn. And up until a few weeks ago when I bought this, I had never carded anything. So I may be getting in way over my head, but hopefully, if nothing else, this will be really entertaining for you. And maybe I'll get like a poncho or something out of this. Or my cat and dog will end up with a really nice bed. So I hope that you keep watching these fun little videos that I'm going to be making. You can subscribe and I'll let you know when I post a new one. And you'll see the whole process as we go. So check back frequently, and thanks for watching.